Once again, my name is Joy, and thank you, Chidera, for that very informative session and the very graphic representations. They really put the picture in our mind more than just the words. So thank you very much. So to continue from where you stopped, I'm going to be speaking on the role of climate change awareness in youth capital development across Sub-Saharan Africa. These are the outlines of everything we'll be running through while I speak. So by way of introduction, just like Chidera has helped us understand, climate change is progressively becoming worse, right? Because of more human activities, urbanization, development, industrialization, those kind of things. So young people have enormous potential to promote sustainable development and positive change. And this webinar is going to help us better understand the critical role of climate change awareness for youth in Sub-Saharan Africa. So now, Chidera has once again already spoken about what climate change is. It's long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns due to some natural activities, but mainly human activities, because climate change has been more exaggerated since there's been rise in technology, rise in industrialization. Those things have made climate change more pronounced. Let me see. So understanding climate change within the context of Sub-Saharan Africa. Climate change affects the whole world, right? Everyone is feeling the effect of climate change, but it is more, will I say, exaggerated in Sub-Saharan Africa. And this is because Sub-Saharan Africa, we rely mostly on basic ecosystems for our ecological and economy needs. By that, I mean, we rely on our land for food. We rely on water bodies, right? And because climate change now affects plants and trees, it affects the aquatic ecosystem, it affects even humans because we have to deal with flooding, melting ice glaciers, right? It affects everything. So this is why the impact is sort of exaggerated in Sub-Saharan Africa because we depend on basic ecosystems for our survival. So the importance of youth capital development. Youth who are empowered and educated take on active roles in advocating for the progress of society, participating in policy discussions, and promoting social advancement. When the youth are empowered, they are put in strategic positions to be able to contribute in a valuable way to sustainability, to environmental resilience, to environmental mitigation, adaptation, and because we are the ones that are going to be here for the next few decades, we are more forward thinking in our approach. So this is one of the reasons why the youth need to be properly educated on the urgency of climate change. So negative effects such as early school dropouts, low labor market entry, reckless behavior, and crime result from failing to invest in youth. This is another reason why youth empowerment and youth capital development is very, very important. So now the role of climate change awareness. Climate change awareness improves youth engagement and participations in the following ways. First, when the youth are more educated and have more knowledge, then they understand the urgency of climate change and take informed decisions, like Chidera now, because she got more knowledge and education from an online course, Coursera, right? This made her choose an MSc in a topic that would contribute to helping in this urgent matter, in this urgent topic of climate change. Then the role of climate change awareness also contributes in activism and advocacy for climate-related issues. We see all over the world, youth are coming up every day in their cities, in their communities, right? Advocating for proper use of natural resources, more efficient products. Instead of, we see a lot of people doing climate initiatives on plastics to reduce the use of plastics, which is one of the pollutants, but that's another topic for another day. So continuing, there's also, when the youth are more aware of climate change, they are equipped to contribute positively in leadership positions where they can effect changes for climate change. And their innovative energy is also channeled to productive use in the climate change area. Then there's also policy influence at local, national, and international levels, global collaborations with youth from around the world. Chidera spoke on this. And then lifestyle changes, because when the youth are more aware, we tend to make cleaner decisions, right? We would prefer to maybe put solar panels in our houses as a source of energy than you spending on a generator, because generators would emit greenhouse gases, and then that would be us contributing now to the problem of climate change. So climate change awareness also contributes to lifestyle changes. So in summary, the youth are pivotal agents of change in this challenging landscape. Through climate change awareness, our energy, our creativity, our ability to think forward and innovate, lies a golden opportunity to forge a transformative path towards a transformative path in this global issue. Youth are full of energy, full of ideas. We're thinking of the future, right? So all of that can be harnessed to bring sustainable solutions, whether it's in adaptation, resilience, mitigation, sustainable ideas and products to push us in a positive direction when it comes to this challenging landscape. So these are some successful youth initiatives in Sub-Saharan Africa. There's Green Africa Youth Organization in Ghana. They focus on environmental sustainability and community development through youth-led initiatives. Then there's also African Youth Initiative on Climate Change. This is a continental network of youth organizations and individuals in Africa who are working on climate change and sustainable development. Then there's Yongo. Yongo is under the United Nations, so it's more global. Then the African chapter focuses on empowering African youth in climate policy processes. So now let's go to the importance of empowering youth leaders. Developing youth competencies in leadership for environmental issues is crucial, first of all, for social equity, for policy advocacy, for climatic resilience, for economic growth, for sustainable development, and the preservation of the region's natural and cultural legacy. What I mean to say is, when the youth are empowered and they are given opportunities to express this leadership, they are given opportunities to put to use all they have learned, right? They bring about more social equity. Everybody is considered, right? When we're making, there's more inclusion. Yes. Then economic growth, because we are innovating, we are creating. we create more products. Like the woman in Kenya that is using plastics to make interlocking bricks. She has created a valuable product. We use bricks every day. We build every day, right? And plastics are a menace. So she is harnessing that menace to produce something that is needed every day. Economic growth for her, which will translate into economic growth for her country. And then sustainable development, preservation of Sub-Saharan's natural and cultural legacy. Furthermore, I will be speaking on specific strategies for empowering young people. These are tools and channels through which youth can be empowered and more aware. So first off, there's climate education and awareness through workshops, seminars, and webinars. Webinars like this, that Sustainability Z has brought all of us together. All of us are here, we're learning, we're building awareness and education on what climate change is about, how we can contribute, and how we can better our society and the world at large. Then there's also leadership and technical trainings. After the youth have been informed, they've been given information, they need to understand how to use this information in positions of leadership, policy making, and also how to put it to work. There are many initiatives teaching people how to install solar panels, how to use these energy sources that are more energy efficient and rounded. Then there's mentorship programs. Mentorship programs help in the sense that after the youth have been informed, they would need the help of professionals and experts that have years of experience, right? To guide them in the direction where they can make the most impact. Because climate change is such a broad topic. So many disciplines are involved, right? So we would definitely require professionals that have gone ahead of us. They have years of knowledge, right? We would them passing on that knowledge to us, steering us in the right direction, will help us make more impact with the time we have, because climate change is an urgent matter. Then there's access to youth networks, grants, and fundings for projects geared towards climate change awareness and mitigation. Apart from giving youth knowledge, they also need funds to bring these ideas to life. Then there's volunteer programs, non-governmental organizations, or other youth-led initiatives would give youth the opportunity to implement some of what they are learning. Then we can also empower young people by awarding, recognizing, and giving initiatives to those that are taking action. When good behavior is rewarded, it's definitely be replicated, right? When someone is doing something good and is getting recognition and awards for it, it will encourage others to also contribute in that line. Then finally, another way of empowering our young people is through digital tools and online skills. In today's age, literally almost every young person, or rather, let me not generalize, most young people would have at least a smartphone or access to the internet one way or the other. So digital tools are an efficient way to reach them, just as it contributed to Chidera's knowledge and her drive for sustainability. It's also an effective tool to use in empowering youth. So now we're going to be talking about the impact of empowered youth in communities. In Sub-Saharan Africa, youth-led campaigns to raise awareness of climate change have had a profoundly positive effect on local economies, local communities. Some of these changes are promotion of sustainable practices, One example we can use is youth initiatives where those in the rural areas are encouraged to use more solar powered lamps, solar powered sources of energy. Mini grids are being built all over, right? This is encouraging people to invest more in practices that don't further deplete our environment. Then there's also economic opportunities and development. Like the woman I spoke about that is making plastic bricks. She has brought about more employment. She has employed people in her community. She has contributed to the economy of her nation by innovating and creating something that hasn't been done. So even international bodies will be interested in something like what she's doing because it's new, it's sustainable, it's just balanced on every end, right? So there's economic opportunities, environmental restoration and conservation. When we are able to utilize the things that, when we are able to harness the things that are contributing to environmental degradation, in the long run, we would be able to conserve to an extent and probably even restore our environment. Then there's social cohesion and community engagement. Because these initiatives are geared towards the society, they are more excited and receptive, right? And then because everyone knows we're all working towards the goal of sustainability or working towards the goal of reducing climate change, we would work together more than if everyone had their individual goals and everyone is working in different directions. So that's how empowered youth can contribute to their communities. Then the importance of collaboration. Collaboration between the youth, the government, NGOs, the stakeholders such as the communities, where we would want to implement these youth-led initiatives, right? So everyone has a part to play in making climate change awareness bring positive results for us. And the reason this collaboration is necessary is because, one, it fosters social equity and inclusion. Like I said earlier, everyone is working towards the same goal, right? So we would achieve more because everyone is putting hands together. There's inclusion and equity. While everyone is working, everyone gets to enjoy the benefits of a better environment, of more sustainable practices. Then number two, collaboration allows for more holistic approach and synergy. I said at some point that climate change is a broad topic involving a lot of disciplines, right? The engineers are needed, the lawyers are needed, the economists are needed. Everyone needs, it's a hands-on deck topic. So when everyone's energy is channeled towards sustainability and climate change, we definitely will be able to achieve more and treat the urgency of climate change. Then finally, there is resource mobilization and efficiency across these groups, because as funds are being released from the top of the charts, that's the government, to the non-governmental organizations, to the youth, to the communities, everyone has to account for the funds they have received, and the end users also have the opportunity to actually benefit, right? And there's efficiency. Everyone is working, everyone is seeing the products of their work. So yeah, that's what resource mobilization and efficiency is about. So in conclusion, it is critical to acknowledge the revolutionary impact that climate change awareness plays in the formation of youth capital development throughout Sub-Saharan Africa. as we move toward a sustainable future. We can produce a generation of knowledgeable and capable leaders who will promote good change and create a more resilient future for everyone. If we provide young people with the information, the tools, and resources that they need to solve environmental issues. So, while informing the young people, we also need to provide them with the tools and resources, like I outlined in the strategies, right? So, if we are able to do this, we have a good chance of moving towards environmental sustainability and conserving our environment. And in the long run, with everyone contributing, hopefully the earth won't get as bad as the picture that was on Chidera's slide, right? So we should be able to turn the hand of degradation back and be able to gain for future generations and even for us. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to hearing questions from everyone.